Welcome, adventurers! Today we're diving deep into the spell-haunted halls and soaring cities of the Netheril Empire, one of the most fascinating and influential civilizations in Dungeons & Dragons lore. Rulers of the ancient past and the Forgotten Realms, their rise and catastrophic fall still echoes across Faerun. Let's uncover their secrets, starting with the origins of this legendary society. Netheril first took root nearly 4,000 years before the current year in the Forgotten Realms calendar. Originally, it was a humble fishing and farming society, nestled around the River Rorin. Over generations, the discovery and study of magic catapulted Netheril from obscurity to supremacy, especially after they uncovered the secrets of the mysterious Nether Scrolls. The Nether Scrolls were ancient artifacts left behind by the enigmatic Suruk, one of the progenitor races of Faerun. These golden tablets contained the deepest secrets of arcane magic, far beyond even what elves understood at the time. When Netherese arcanists deciphered just a portion, it ignited a golden age of magical innovation and expansion. With this newfound magical power, Netherese society became divided into two classes: commoners, who held mostly mundane skills, and arcanists, their ruling elite of mighty spellcasters. In this society, magical prowess was the greatest status symbol, with arcanists shaping the laws, culture, and destiny of the empire. It wasn't long before the arcanists achieved one of their greatest feats: creating entire cities that floated in the skies. With powerful Mythallar artifacts, they were able to tear city blocks from the earth and set them adrift above the clouds, free from many of the world's dangers. These floating enclaves became iconic symbols of the Netherese Empire. If you're wondering how these Mythallars worked, here's a peek. They were globe-like devices that generated raw magical energy, which could be tapped for any number of arcane effects. Most notably, Mythallars allowed flying cities to stay aloft and enabled low-level casters to harness powerful spells far above their normal reach. Netheril's most famous floating city was Karsus, named for its creator, the Archmage Karsus himself. However, dozens of enclaves, like Thultan Far, later known as the Shade Enclave, and Sfor Upra, also drifted majestically above the land. Each acted as an independent city-state, governed by its own powerful archmage. Not content with merely flight, Netherese archwizards pushed the boundaries of magic itself, creating spells that would become legendary, and some that even DMs can only dream of today. You might have heard of Wish and Time Stop. These actually originated as part of the Netherese collection of epic spells, many of which are considered lost or forbidden in modern Faerun. Netheril's spellcasting was unique in another way too. During their most powerful era, the greatest archmages were not limited by the standard 9 levels of spells. Legends tell of 10th level spells, world-altering magics that could shatter reality or call down vast devastation. These excesses would ultimately contribute to their doom. Religion in Netheril was complicated. While deities such as Mistral, goddess of magic, were venerated, the archwizards often placed their faith in their own power first. This arrogance led to tension with the gods, and in some cases, the archmages themselves sought immortality or godhood, further destabilizing their unique society. One of Netheril's most infamous creations was the phylactery, used by some archmages to become liches, undead spellcasters who could persist indefinitely, further accumulating magical knowledge and power. This gave rise to some of the most dangerous undead beings in the realms, whose influence persists even into the modern era. As the Empire expanded, it clashed with neighboring powers, including the elves of Cormanthir and the dwarves of Delzoom. These conflicts were often a test of arcane might versus tradition and martial prowess. At its height, Netheril wielded enough power to reshape the landscape itself, causing lasting changes to geography and magic around their lands. But this golden age could not last forever. The seeds of Netheril's destruction were sown by their hubris and a single cataclysmic event, now known as Karsus's Folly. The archwizard Karsus, desperate to save Netheril from a threat to its magical power, attempted an impossible feat. He cast a 12th level spell designed to steal the power of the goddess Mythallar herself. The consequences were instantaneous and apocalyptic. Magic across Netheril went berserk, with Mythallar's failing and the floating enclaves plummeting from the heavens. The concept of raw magic itself was nearly destroyed, and Mythallar perished, only to be reincarnated as Mystra, with new, more restrictive rules on spellcasting. The impact of the fall of Netheril was immediate and catastrophic. The landscape was scarred with craters and ruins, while thousands of survivors fled or perished beneath the wreckage of falling cities. Wild magic zones and dead magic areas erupted across the land, unpredictable even in the modern day. A handful of Netherese enclaves survived, such as the Shade Enclave, which escaped into the Shadowfell, only to return millennia later as a force of shadowy villainy in the Forgotten Realms. Fragments of Netherese knowledge, spells, items, and secrets remain coveted goals for adventurers, wizards, and the power-hungry alike. The ruins of Netheril, scattered throughout the Anarot Desert and surrounding regions, are among the most legendary dungeon sites in D&D adventures. Rumors speak of vaults of lost spells, Mythallar fragments, and treasures of incalculable value, along with deadly guardians and ancient curses. Modern Netherese, a handful of whom survived or were reshaped by their time in shadow, remain cunning foes and enigmatic allies. Encounters with their agents often involve deadly magic and schemes millennia in the making, posing unique challenges even for powerful adventuring parties. The legacy of Netheril also lives on in the culture of magic-using organizations like the Arcane Brotherhood and the Red Wizards of Thay. These groups revere or study Netherese lore, hoping to reawaken or master powers lost to time, showing just how influential the Empire's innovations and disasters remain. Beyond earthly affairs, the story of Netheril transformed the very fabric of the Weave, the fundamental source of magic in the Forgotten Realms. Mystra's rules still limit spellcasting as a direct result of the Netherese catastrophe, protecting the world from another such magical apocalypse. For dungeon masters, Netheril offers a treasure trove of adventure hooks, secret enclaves still floating, spellbooks that defy the rules of magic, and artifacts with unpredictable effects. For players, the ghosts of Netheril are both a warning and an inspiration, a reminder of how ambition and arcane power can change the world, for better and worse. From humble beginnings to godlike ambition, from floating cities to catastrophic ruin, the story of Netheril reminds us that in Dungeons & Dragons, even the mightiest empires can become the seeds of legend and adventure. What mysterious histories and lost spells will your party uncover in the shadow of Netheril's ruins? That's a tale only you can write. Thanks for journeying across the ages with us to explore the wonders and tragedies of the Netheril Empire. Remember, if you're venturing into their forgotten depths, beware. Some secrets are lost for a reason. Until next time, happy adventuring, and may the Weave watch over you.